Welcome to a new episode of Hacks and Hobbies with your host, Junaid Ahmed. In this episode, I want to go over some of the things that I've been working on. The weekend was a blast. Spent every minute with the family and relatives. It was quite eventful, and here we are, Monday. Exciting Monday. Now, one thing that sucks about today, besides it being a Monday, I actually don't think Mondays are bad at all. I think Mondays are awesome because you get to start a brand new week. Everything is brand spanking new, right? But the thing that sucks with today's commute is that there is an additional 40-minute delay for my commute. Yeah, I said it. I've got a new commute now. And because there is some construction happening on some freeways, I'm going to be taking the next 58 minutes going through random roads. And as fun as it is, it's also boring. So, um, I combat boringness with just talking to myself. Now, a really good friend of mine agreed that he's going to help me make my podcasts a little more structured because so far I have been off script this whole time. uh, Off script, even the interviews I do, there's only one common question that I like to bring up, but I think I will need to bring up a little more commonality. So there is a pattern, and I have a good set of questions, and one awesome dude that does that is Tyler Wagner. I managed to do an interview with him for Hacks and Hobbies. I did an interview for him on his Business Blast podcast. Now, what's so cool is that he got to interview Gary Vaynerchuk. I'm like, whoa, dude, way to go. And recently he posted the video on Facebook and I believe on LinkedIn as well. That interview was pretty awesome. I mean, um, it's 1 degree of connection who knows or has met Gary Vaynerchuk. Actually, what am I saying? My good friend Errol Erdeman also got to meet Gary Vaynerchuk, and he explains his um, experience in his post. But I am not liking where this route is taking me. It is a little disheartening because I spent all this time going through these back roads and now I'm introduced to some more back roads. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna have to keep it raw and um, real over here on this podcast. Now, my good friend David Calvert has been doing a daily podcast, and I get those invitations, I get those notifications on a daily basis. New episode for David Calvert, and I just keep kicking myself. Like, why am I not doing daily podcast episodes? And it's understandable why I'm not able to do that, right? So yeah, I have, everyone has different um, growing experiences, and I'm okay with that, right? I am totally fine with being able to publish my episodes when I have the time versus um, abandoning my other responsibilities. This is one of those. This is another one of those raw updates, but I want to get to the point and talk about some of the cool stuff that I learned about over the weekend. So apparently, Apple dropped a brand new update to Final Cut Pro, and this brand new update was dropped on the 15th of November, and I'm finding out like 3 days, 4 days after the fact. Um, and that's again because I'm not at a computer 24 hours a day as much as I would like to. This new update that Apple dropped, and I think it has to do with the fact that the new MacBook Pro, the 2018 MacBook Pro, now has the ability to configure with the Vega 20 and Vega 16 GPUs. But I think the update to Final Cut Pro has to coincide with these things because not only was Final Cut Pro updated, compressor and motion were also updated, the Pro applications, as well as a software update to support newer video formats. So pretty excited about this. So what's so special about this new update? Well, it is much faster. It's got built-in workflow uh, components which enable Final Cut Pro to connect with other web-based applications like Frame.io, Cat TV, Shutterstock Photo, and many others. So these three are available right away, and there will be more application components coming to work with Final Cut Pro. This increases the speed of your workflow and how fast you are able to bring in assets to your timeline and have better um, stuff around it. So that is pretty exciting. Now, I can't say that I didn't know about this. I just didn't pay attention much when I saw the email from Frame.io and they mentioned that Frame.io now works inside of Final Cut Pro. And I was like, dude, this is so cool. And I actually shared it with a friend of mine, but I never heard back. So I'm pretty excited. So the one thing that's making my gears turn is Cat DV. Now this is an application I had never heard of before. But when I looked into the little explanation by cinema5d.com's article and looking into Cat TV, looks like it's a catalog, a digital video catalog that can do asset management for your movie files and images and JPEGs and whatnot. And I was like, wait, what does it do? And then what was interesting is what how I when I visited CatDV, they said they also have AI to help look at your video files and sort out the scenes. I'm like, wait, what? Because the reason I say that is because I have probably 2 terabytes of raw footage that I've shot over the years, and the resolution, I think they're all 1080p and above, maybe 720p and above. I can't say because I've been just collecting and this media has been moving from one computer to another computer and finally found its home on my backup server. But I'm thinking that if this application has AI and it can automatically catalog footage, wouldn't it be great if I throw all those video folders at it and it goes through these videos files that I've shot and create a database for me so I can say, oh, give me all driving scenes. Boom. Give me all the scenes with one person in the shot. Boom. Give me all the scenes with multiple people in the shot. Give me all the scenes. You see where I'm going from here? It can technically speed up my workflow and help me find the footage that's been sitting there and I would have to, manually go in there and look for it. So this is pretty exciting. I mean, it's quite exciting. Now, the gentleman who wrote the article that I read on Cinema 5D, I thanked him on Twitter and he's like, yeah, haven't tried it myself either, but it does require a license. Hmm. So like, what does that mean? So I gotta look at the pricing model and if I wanted to run it on the server and access it for my client machine, what does that look like? What would it cost? But first I gotta trial it, do a trial run and see if it will do all of the things that I'm thinking in my head. So that's pretty exciting. That's something I learned I read about all on it yesterday, but there's still more research needs to be done on how the software works and if it's gonna do what I want it to do. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. The other thing that I've started to do, or in the back of my head, is to start looking up some stock imagery that I can then use to promote hacks and hobbies. And one of the past episodes that I did was on the FreeNAS network attached storage system. So went around looking for an image, and of course, when you go looking for a FreeNAS image, what will you find? You'll find other people building these massive servers, anywhere from 10 terabytes to, hundreds of terabytes of storage. And you'd think to yourself, man, that is sweet. There's this one server that I saw that has 43 terabytes and he's running all 4 terabyte hard drives. Now, you might think, Why would you run 4 terabyte hard drives? They have 8 terabyte drives, even 10 terabyte drives." Well, my friend, one of the reasons you want to use a smaller drive is so the resilvering time is short, and these smaller drives are much cheaper to replace as well. Because anytime you're resilvering, now what is a resilvering process, you might wonder. The resilvering is when one of the drive dies and the other drives have enough data to rebuild that died drive. So you can replace that dead drive with a new drive, and the software, the file system brings together all the stuff and welcomes this new disk to the family, essentially, and updates it. Okay, this is our family history, blah, blah, blah. So that's what resilvering is. And if it's a large drive, you're then grabbing that data from those other larger drives onto this new drive, and it can sometimes put a lot of burden on the other drives. And I have heard about stories where somebody's trying to resilver one drive and another one fails because of the load and the age of these drives. So makes sense that he's using 4 terabyte drives. And I think he had probably 18 4 terabyte drives running on a single LSI board that can support up to 16 drives. So yeah, that's pretty neat. I mean, my machine can handle 16 drives right now, but I can only put in 8 drives. So that the case that this guy's using is obviously has higher capacity to store the drives and whatnot. And although I did upgrade to running multiple 6 terabyte drives as opposed to the 3 terabytes, is because I needed more storage. But the route these guys are going, they're more experienced and they know what's up. So now that we're a little learned, maybe the next machine will have smaller drives because you can pick up a 4 terabyte drive for under $100. Um, yeah, so those are some of the new things that I learned, and just wanted to, drop it to you guys. What else? What else? What else? Yeah, that's all I've got. I'm going to be hopefully publishing one of the interviews in uh, either later, either tomorrow. I'll I'll have it edited tonight, and I'll publish it tomorrow. Maybe I'll edit a couple of them tonight, and so I can publish them consecutively, or day after day. Plus, the big holiday Thanksgiving is this week, so pretty exciting times. Now, there's nothing I can do to speed up this traffic. But again, thank you guys for listening. One thing I have not asked, and I have no idea how many people are listening to my podcast, and I don't even know how many people make it to the end of the episode. Although I'm sitting at 3,400 listens for the past 8 months, and with about 62 listeners per episode. So I would like to request that please um, go put a review in on Apple Podcasts. You can find us Hacks and Hobby with the ampersand, Hacks and Hobbies. And I would love a review from you. If you think this podcast can do better, please leave a review. If you think this podcast totally sucks, please leave a review. If you think the information that I'm providing you is helping, please leave a review. I just want some kind of feedback so I know that the direction this podcast is going is the right direction, or if it needs to change, right, just let me know. Because if I don't hear from you guys, then there's no way to, iterate and fix that. Again, thank you so much for your time. You can find the podcast on all the awesome platforms, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, and I'm working on getting it on iHeartRadio. All right, that's it for today. Thank you so much. Hopefully, you'll hear one of the interviews tomorrow. Talk to you soon.